Hey everybody, it's Master Galageist here, bringing you my review for the latest episode of Designated Survivor, The Traitor. And this was a pretty good episode. It was kind of further away from like A and B choices for Tom. He kind of had to get creative to kind of see what was going on with the decisions that he had to make in this one. But we also got more movement on the conspiracy and kind of getting more information on the group overall. Not like tons of information, but actual contact from the organization. So they're still processing what happened to Nassar, having died. They're trying to figure out what's going on, and Tom calls on Atwood to tell him about what's going on because he was having dinner with McLeish, and then it's like, Nassar's dead. Holy crap! I need the information. Atwood's going in, getting ready to tell him about what they think, how McLeish is connected, but McLeish is in the room with them, so he wasn't able to say anything. And Tom's like, that was kind of weird. And then, of course, this sets McLeish off to like, okay, they might be on to me. So he goes and gives the FBI pretty much all these papers without being asked. And he's like, okay, these are all kind of boring, so he's probably hiding something. And then that sets Hannah off to go into her contact in a bar who's connected to the CIA and drops the name Catalan, and he tells her to just stop. And she pretty much begs him because people who I love are at risk with this. You need to give me something. And then it's like, okay, we'll see how this goes. So later on, we see her in a parking garage, and her vehicle's been tampered with, and she's got a file in there. And she looks through the file and sees that the person who's connected to Catalan is the guard who was giving Nassar his food that day. It's like, okay, got something. But while this is happening with her, Atwood's son has been taken, and he's frantically trying to find out what's going on, and is approached by this woman, and is like, okay, do what we say, or else your whole family gets killed. And here's a cell phone, you tell President Kirkland exactly what we're going to tell you. And that's kind of where we leave off. It's like, ooh. So they're highly connected in pretty much every aspect to know to tell him what to tell Kirkman, and also to be pinged to know that they're kind of either general or kind of connector for all the kind of plotting that's going on has been identified. And that's a pretty big thing. So that's pretty much what happened with the conspiracy part of the episode. Tom's pretty much part in this episode was a track and field coach, was going to a championship in Russia and was arrested for doping drugs. And come to find out, he was actually not an asset for the intelligence branch, but kind of a resource because he would be in contact with people and be able to learn of things. And it's like, okay, we got to get him back. How do we do this? And it's like, Russia, their ambassador meets with him and pretty much says, we're not giving him to you. And he's like, okay, I got to figure out a way. If we don't have something that they want, we got to find someone else who has something that they want. So Aaron and Emily are able to find out that Saudi Arabia has a Russian agent, and Russia has some Saudi agents, and doing kind of exchange that way to try and get their operative back to the U.S. Do this kind of three-way deal. Unfortunately, at the end, we find out that Coach Weston was a double agent for the Russians and has decided to stay in Russia. And it's like, okay. But Kirkman's able to kind of play it off like, okay, you might have won this round, but the most dangerous thing is when a pawn thinks that they're a queen. And left the ambassador gone as well. Like, ooh, very nice chess burden. So that's kind of where that story of the like crisis of the moment is going on. Then we get more info on like the Leo's parentage, and it's kind of weird because I don't really like Leo's character that much because of not really the actor, but how they've written him, and now they pretty much turned him into an object with like the parentage issue, and it's like, okay, I guess this would be big, but whatever. But the Jeffrey Myers dude who's in prison is pretty much trying to use this to get out. And we don't know exactly what's going to be going on because Alex confronted him, brought that information back to Tom, and they're still trying to figure out a course of action. So we'll have to see if Tom and Leo will take a DNA test to do this once and for all, or if he will actually let Jeffrey Myers out of prison. Because it would be a double-edged sword, because if he's let out, then, I mean, yeah, he could spout off, and then they could arrest him again, but he could then get away. So it's kind of in a precarious position in that it would just be better for them to do a DNA test, figure out what's going on, and tell Leo the truth. Because at this point, they're just using him as kind of an object. And it's like, okay, especially since we haven't seen him the past couple episodes, thank God, because he's pretty much one of the weakest elements. And he has a younger sister, and he's still the weakest element because they don't know what to do with the kid. And it's just like, I would almost want them to drop it completely and let the kids go into the background and then just mention them every couple of episodes. Because they do nothing to service the plot that's going on. We're kind of more interested in what's going on with the government and all that, and the strain that that's putting on Tom and the conspiracy, and when they meet together. That's where we're trying to look for, because the kids just haven't been actively utilized in a way that adds to the overall story. So we'll kind of have to see where this is going, because now we've got Atwood being blackmailed and what kind of choices he's going to take and what he'll be forced to do in order to keep his family safe. So those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.